If a woman is never afraid to lose you, she will never truly respect you. Let that sink in. Men, understanding this is not optional. It's a necessity if you want to be in control of your relationships. If you don't know how to trigger a woman's fear of losing you, you'll always be the one chasing, always the one overinvesting, and always the one wondering why she's pulling away. The moment she feels like you're guaranteed, her attraction starts to die. She may still keep you around, but not out of deep desire, out of convenience. Welcome to Kelley Facts channel, and today we are going to talk about something most men get completely wrong: how to trigger a woman's fear of losing you. This isn't about playing games or making her jealous for no reason. This is about positioning yourself as a man she knows she can't replace. A man whose presence is a privilege, not a given. See, women are naturally drawn to scarcity and competition. If you are too available, too predictable, and too eager to please, she stops seeing you as valuable. She stops trying to impress you. She stops respecting you. But the moment she realizes that you could walk away, that you have options, that you are a man other women want, everything changes. This video is going to show you exactly how to flip that switch. Because when a woman fears losing you, she acts right. She respects you. She wants you more. And most importantly, she sees you as the high-value man you were meant to be. Let's get into it. 1. Create distance to increase desire. Men, let's get something straight. Women don't desire what they already have in full. The moment she feels like she has 100% access to you, she stops seeing you as a prize. Attraction thrives on space, tension, and the feeling of not having complete control over you. Think about it. Why do women chase men who seem just a little out of reach? Because the uncertainty keeps them engaged. The second you're always around, always available, and always eager to please, she stops appreciating you. She starts treating you as an option, not a priority. Most men make the mistake of being too present too soon. They think that by constantly showing up, constantly texting, and constantly reminding her how much they care, she'll value them more. But in reality, the opposite happens. The more she sees that you're always there, the less she feels the need to put in effort. She knows she has you, so she stops trying. So how do you create that distance? Simple. Pull back just enough to make her feel your absence. You don't have to ignore her or disappear for days. That's childish. But you do need to show her what life feels like when you're not constantly there. Maybe you don't answer every text immediately. Maybe you stop initiating plans all the time. Maybe you start focusing more on your own life instead of making her the center of it. This shift forces her to recognize your value. Suddenly, she starts wondering, why isn't he texting me as much? Is he losing interest? That tiny bit of uncertainty, that's what makes her want you more. Let's look at what happens when you do the opposite. A man who's always available, always texting, always trying to be around her. She starts feeling smothered. It's human nature. We take for granted what's always there. That's why she loses respect for men who make themselves too easy. A clear example: a guy meets a woman and things are going well, but instead of pacing himself, he floods her with attention, texts every morning, checks in during the day, and always asks when they can meet next. At first, she enjoys it, but soon she starts pulling away. She takes longer to respond, makes fewer plans, and suddenly she's busy. Why? Because his presence became predictable. She didn't have to wonder about him. There was no mystery, no tension. On the other hand, if he had given her just enough space to miss him, she would have leaned in. She would have started chasing. That's the power of creating distance. It makes her crave what she feels she's losing, and that craving is what keeps attraction alive. 2. Control your availability. Men, the more accessible you are, the less valuable you seem. It's a harsh truth, but one you need to understand if you want to maintain a woman's respect and attraction. When she knows she can have your time, attention, and energy whenever she wants, she won't feel the need to work for it. And if she doesn't have to work for it, she won't appreciate it. Most men fall into the trap of always being available. They respond to texts immediately, clear their schedules whenever she wants to meet, and drop whatever they're doing just to accommodate her. And at first, she might enjoy it, but only temporarily. The problem? She stops seeing you as a challenge. Women are drawn to men who are purpose-driven and selective with their time. When you make her the center of your world, it signals that you have nothing better going on. And trust me, That's not attractive. A woman wants a man whose life is already full. And if you show her that you'll drop everything for her, she'll assume she's already won you over. And once she's won, the excitement fades. So, what should you do instead? Control your availability. That doesn't mean ignoring her or playing childish games. It means prioritizing your own life first. Don't always answer texts right away. Don't always be the one to initiate plans. Don't always be free the moment she asks. When you do this, something interesting happens. She starts to value your time more. She begins to wonder why you're not constantly chasing her. She starts thinking about you more because she's not always sure when she'll hear from you next. That uncertainty builds attraction. Let's take a simple example. Two men are dating the same type of woman. One of them responds instantly to all her messages, always says yes to plans, and constantly checks in. The other, he responds when he has time, doesn't always initiate plans, and keeps his focus on his own goals. Who do you think she's more drawn to? The second man. Why? Because he's not predictable, he's not too easy, and that makes him stand out. Remember this. Women crave men who have options, who are busy, and who aren't constantly at their beck and call. So, if you want to maintain her attraction, stop being so available. Make her work for your presence. 3. Let her feel uncertain about you men. Let's be honest. Certainty kills excitement. The moment a woman knows exactly where she stands with you, the game changes. Women are emotional creatures driven by feelings, not just logic, and when everything feels too predictable, that emotional spark starts to fade. You've probably noticed this before. At the beginning of a relationship, when she wasn't sure how much you liked her, she was obsessed with figuring it out. She analyzed your texts, replayed your conversations, and talked to her friends about you non-stop. Why? Because uncertainty made you exciting, but the moment she became 100% sure that she had you, things shifted. She stopped putting in as much effort. She stopped thinking about you all the time. This is why you can't make the mistake of giving her too much reassurance. A little mystery, a little doubt. It's what keeps her on edge, and that's exactly what you want. Most men think the key to making a woman feel secure is constantly proving their love, always checking in and reminding her that they'll never leave. But that approach backfires. Why? Because when a woman feels completely certain that you're never going anywhere, she stops feeling that urgency to impress you. Now, let's be clear. This isn't about playing games or trying to manipulate her emotions. It's about keeping a natural balance of attraction. If she knows with 100% certainty that no matter what she does, you'll still be there, she loses the fear of losing you. And without that fear, there's no emotional intensity. Think about it like this. What keeps women obsessed with certain TV shows, celebrities, or even toxic relationships? It's the unpredictability, the will they won't they energy, the emotional roller coaster, the unanswered questions. Women love suspense. That's why they binge watch drama series for hours or obsess over their favorite singer who never even acknowledges them. It's because the uncertainty keeps them hooked. The same applies to relationships. If everything about you is predictable, if she always knows what you're going to say, do, and feel, where's the excitement? She won't obsess over you because there's no mystery left. So, what should you do? Stop over-explaining yourself. Stop making everything easy to figure out. Let her feel a little uncertainty. It keeps things interesting. It keeps her emotionally engaged. And most importantly, it keeps her chasing. 4. Show that you have options. Women are naturally drawn to men who are in demand. It's not just about attraction, it's about value. People desire what others want. When a woman sees that other women admire you, she doesn't just see you as attractive, she sees you as someone worth keeping. On the flip side, if she senses that no one else is interested in you, she won't feel the urgency to secure her place in your life. This is why high-status men, whether they are athletes, successful businessmen, or social leaders, never struggle with women. Their desirability is already proven. They don't need to convince anyone of their value. Women assume it based on the attention they receive. This creates a competitive mindset in women, making them feel like they need to win that man over. Now, you might not be famous, but the same principle applies. If a woman sees you as a man who is socially valuable, confident, and surrounded by opportunities, she will instinctively work harder to keep your attention. But if she feels like she's your only option, her effort drops. That's when you notice her responding less, cancelling plans, or showing less enthusiasm. The moment she feels she has no competition, she stops valuing you the same way. Many men make the mistake of cutting off all social ties the moment they start liking a woman. They stop talking to other women. They become too available. And worst of all, they make her the center of their world. This backfires every single time. Why? Because women don't want a man who is desperate for their attention. They want a man who is desirable enough that they feel the need to work for him. So, how do you create this effect? By naturally positioning yourself as a man who has options. You don't have to fake it or brag about how many women like you. That's insecurity. Instead, focus on building a strong social circle, keeping your life full, and engaging with people confidently. When a woman sees that you're respected, that you have friends, and that you're valued by others, she will instinctively see you as more valuable. This is why some men can enter a room and immediately capture women's attention without even trying. It's not just about looks, it's about presence. If you carry yourself like a man who has options, women will pick up on it. And the moment a woman realizes she's not the only one who sees your value, that's when the fear of losing you kicks in. She will start putting in effort because the thought of another woman taking her place is unbearable. 5. Be mysterious, not predictable. One of the biggest mistakes men make in relationships is becoming too predictable. When a woman knows exactly what you're going to say, what you're going to do, and how you're going to react, she loses the sense of excitement and mystery. And once that happens, she also loses the fear of losing you. Women are naturally drawn to men who keep them guessing, not in a manipulative way, but in a way that makes the relationship feel fresh and exciting. When she's uncertain about what you might do next, her mind stays engaged. She starts thinking about you more, wondering what you're up to, and feeling like she has to put in effort to keep your attention. But when a man becomes predictable, when he sends the same good morning text every day, plans the same type of dates, and always makes himself available, she starts taking him for granted. She stops feeling the thrill of earning his attention because she already knows she has it. Now, this doesn't mean you should play games or purposely act distant just to confuse her. That's not being mysterious, that's being immature. The right way to create mystery is to maintain a sense of individuality. Keep parts of your life separate from her. Let her wonder about what you're thinking. Sometimes give her moments where she feels like she needs to work a little harder to understand you. For example, instead of always answering her texts immediately, take your time, not because you're trying to ignore her, but because you're busy living your life. Instead of always planning the same type of dates, surprise her with something different, something she didn't expect from you. Instead of oversharing every thought and feeling, let her ask questions and be genuinely curious about you. A woman should never feel like she has fully figured you out. There should always be layers to you that she wants to uncover. When she feels like there's more to learn, more to experience, and more to chase, she naturally invests more effort. And the more effort she puts in, the more she fears losing you. The key is balance. Be present, be engaged, but don't be an open book all the time. Keep a little bit of mystery, and you'll notice how much more drawn she is to you. 6. Stop over-explaining yourself. A lot of men have this bad habit, over-explaining everything. They feel the need to justify their actions, defend their choices, and make sure a woman completely understands them at all times. Big mistake. The more you explain yourself, the weaker you look. And the weaker you look, the less she fears losing you. Let's be real. Most men do this because they're afraid of upsetting a woman. They think if they don't explain themselves properly, she'll misunderstand them, get mad, or pull away. So, they go out of their way to clarify things even when it's unnecessary. They apologize when they haven't done anything wrong. They try to make sure she always feels comfortable and never has a single doubt. But here's the truth. Women don't respect a man who always explains himself. They respect a man who stands by his words and actions without feeling the need to constantly justify them. A confident man doesn't explain. He lets his actions speak. If you say you're busy, you don't need to send a long paragraph explaining why. If you decide to do something for yourself, you don't need to convince her it was the right choice. If she asks why you didn't text her back immediately, you don't owe her a detailed timeline of your entire day. Now, let's address the harsh truth. Some of you are doing this because you're scared. Scared of conflict, scared of losing her, scared she'll think something bad about you. Wake up. You're a man, not a little boy looking for approval. If you constantly explain yourself, you're indirectly asking for permission. You're seeking validation instead of standing firm. Think about the kind of men women chase. Do they explain themselves all the time? Number. They are clear, direct, and unapologetic. They move with purpose. They say what they mean and don't feel the need to defend it. And because of that, women respect them. So stop giving away your power with endless explanations. If she doesn't understand you, let her wonder. If she questions your decisions, let her sit with the uncertainty. That uncertainty is what keeps the fear of losing you alive. If she always knows exactly what's going on in your mind, there's no mystery, no challenge, no excitement. Be a man of few but meaningful words. Move with confidence. If she's truly interested, she will work to understand you. 7. Make her invest more than you do. There's one undeniable truth in relationships. The person who invests the least has the most power. And yet, too many men make the mistake of overinvesting, giving too much, doing too much, and trying too hard, while the woman sits back and enjoys the benefits. If she's not putting in effort, why are you? Men have been conditioned to believe that they have to earn a woman's affection, that they need to prove themselves worthy by chasing, impressing, and constantly giving. But the moment you overinvest while she gives little in return, you lose all leverage. She knows you're willing to do more for her than she's willing to do for you, and that kills her fear of losing you. A woman values what she works for. If she's the one chasing, making plans, and trying to impress you, she'll be much more invested in keeping you. The more she invests, the more she fears losing you. Think about it. When you spend time, effort, and emotion on something, you naturally value it more. It's the same with relationships. If she's calling you first, making time to see you, and putting effort into making you happy, she won't want to lose you. She'll be thinking, I've put too much into this man to let him go. Now, this doesn't mean you should treat her badly or refuse to give her attention. It means you should match or even slightly undermatch her level of investment. If she's putting in 70%, you give 60%. If she's making plans, you agree, but don't always initiate. If she's trying to impress you, you acknowledge it, but don't act like she's doing you a favor. The problem is, most men do the exact opposite. They meet a woman and immediately start pouring all their energy into her. They text her non-stop, rearrange their schedule for her, and bend over backward to keep her interested. And guess what happens? She loses respect. She knows she doesn't have to work for you, so she doesn't value you. If a woman isn't making an effort, pull back. Let her notice your absence. Let her wonder why you're not chasing like every other guy. If she's truly interested, she will step up. If she doesn't, she was never that invested to begin with. Remember this. High-value men don't overinvest. They let women earn their place. If she fears losing you, she'll work to keep you. Conclusion. At the end of the day, a woman will only fear losing you if she truly sees you as a man of value. That doesn't come from playing games, acting cold, or pretending to be someone you're not. It comes from knowing your worth and living by it. When you stop making yourself too available, when you focus on your mission instead of constantly trying to please her, you naturally create that fear of loss. Not because you're manipulating her, but because she understands that you are a man who won't tolerate being taken for granted. And that is what makes her want to keep you. So take a moment and ask yourself, are you the man she respects and values, or the man she knows will always be there no matter what? The difference between the two is everything. Now, let's hear from you. Have you ever pulled back and noticed a shift in how a woman treated you? Or have you made the mistake of overinvesting and paid the price for it? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll be checking in and responding. Let's have this conversation. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.